I guess was it clear what I was trying to explain? Yes or no?
We lost you for some second, but yeah, first and
From where,
second slide was clear.
what was the last? Okay, thank you so much, Sharishma. So I just want to know from where did you lose, no, from where did I lost my connection? Or maybe you lost the touch. From which point? Can you just help me out? Like when I was trying to
The
explain variable.
the variable, yeah, the first slide with the variables at this slide, the second slide. Yes, I mean like when you were
Okay,
trying
so
to
when I
explain the
talked of
value. Yeah.
the value, okay, so when the or like value of the object is created and not of the variable, right? So that is what. Okay, great. So did we reach this slide? Did we reach this slide?
Uh, we did not reject the A equal to 50 and B equal to A. No.
Okay, not okay. So I was trying to tell you with a beautiful example. I repeated that so you'll be able to understand clearly. Now what happens is that now in the class there are two sangrams, right? It can happen that if I'm studying in a university, right? I'm studying engineering, right? Machine learning engineering. Now is it necessary that there can be only one sangram in the class? But it can happen that if there's a even though my name is very which is not was not there, but I'll still say right now there's a name called a sangram in a class, right? So is it necessary that there can be only one Sangram? There can be two Sangrams, right? So now how the attendance is marked, like maybe how do we identify the career? We'll have like roll number one, right? We'll call as an Alex, and we have roll number two called as a Bob, right? So in this way, like my roll number is three, right? The roll number, maybe example, right? Roll number one Sangram, right? So there's one more Sangram, right? So whose roll number is two is equal to Sangram two. So in Java and C++, what happens is that the object of the variable is created. Now, variable, you look at the screen, the memory location of a variable is created. That means what? If you look at this A, the address, the memory location, the story of this reference is created. That is what the variable. But in Python, object is there. That is called the value. The reference of this value is created. Now, what is the reference? I'll tell you with example. As I said, in the roll number one, there is a Sangram, and in the roll number, there is two Sangram, right? Sangram one, Sangram two in the class. So roll number one goes for Sangram one, and roll number two goes for Sangram two. Now, this is what happens in the Java. When you talk about C and C plus Java, what happens is that now there are two Sangram, right? Whose values are same, Sangram, Sangram. So in Java or C++, separate roll numbers are created. Roll number one and roll number two. So roll number one for Sangram one and roll number two for Sangram two. But in Python, what happens is that Python knows that there is two Sangram. They're the same name, Sangram, Sangram. So what happened is that in Python, right now in Java, C++, two records, two that right we have that attendance book. So it's in a ruler format, right? Ruler, that is a ruler. We have used the book notebook, right? There's a ruler. So ruler one is occupied, that is a space, right? It is a space. Now ruler number one is occupied, rule number one, and then Sangram. So on the ruler two, there is the same value called as Sangram. So that it is occupying the space in Java and other languages, it occupies that space, even the value is same. That is Sangram. It is role number two Sangram. So now what Python does is that now Python will save that space. Right? If the value is same, the Sangrams are same. So why do I need to occupy that second space? So what I'll do is that instead of that Python, within that first space only, where there was one roll number is equal to Sangram, so there only it will say 1 comma 2 is equal to Sangram. That means what? It will save that second ruler line. Why? Because if the value is same, why should I create a new space for that? Why do I utilize that space? Right? It can use for some other. Now, suppose there is one more candidate in the classroom called as a Janvi. Like one roll number is Sangram, two is also Sangram. So now that in Java or C++, that second ruler is occupied. Yeah, I have not shown the PPT, but I'm trying to explain. Maybe I get disconnected in the connection. So that is what I'm saying is that in root there is a Java, right? It is some RAM. So in Java, that second space might be occupied, but in Python that will not be occupied. Within that first ruler, when it will be written, 1 comma 2 is equal to Sangram. Now there is a third roll number called as the Janvi. Now this Janvi will be at the second ruler. Because in the second ruler, in Java, the space has been taken, but in the Python, it has not been taken. So third roll number will be Janvi, and maybe fourth roll number will be like Rohan. Right now, you say that Rohan is double in the classroom. Now again, Rohan is double. So now fourth roll number Rohan and fifth roll number Rohan will be the case in Java and C++. So it will create a new space for another Rohan. But in Python, again, it will not create a new space. It will say it has found Rohan at the fourth number only. So it will say 4 comma 5 is equal to Rohan. Then in the sixth, it might be Reshma. Seventh, it might be Bhanushri. And eighth, it might be Vijay. Now, again, in the ninth space, it has found the same value called as the Bhanushri. Now, Python knows that Bhanushri is already there at the seventh place. So what it will do is that it will not occupy that ninth ruler. Instead of occupying that ninth ruler space, what it does is that it goes to that seventh reference. That there's a seventh rule number called as Bhanushri. In front of that seven, it will say 7 comma 9 is equal to Bhanushri. That means what? Imagine if there are like 100 Bhanushris, right? The same value, like A is equal to 50, right? 50 is there. So what happens is that it will not create a separate 50 lines. It will not occupy that memory. Like we know how it is stored in bytes, right? It's stored in the 8 bit. 8 is equal to 8 1 byte because integer is stored in bits, right? Which is in the 1 byte. Text occupies more memory because it is of float. It is of float six. Sorry, it occupies the same one. Decimal occupies more because it is a float 64 value. So bytes are occupied. Bytes are nothing but the memory. You might think, sir, like what will happen? It's not about what will happen. Imagine you are writing a lack of a code and company, if I'm working on an Accenture, so Accenture is not working on my project only, right? There are like 10,000 employees. That 10,000 employees are working on different products, different services, different things. And they don't have different servers. They'll buy only one server and they'll just give some amount of a space to every project. You have to compact. We are engineers. That is what we need to fit that things into that particular space. If you overfit it, they'll ask you, they'll give you a pink slip and they'll say, okay, you start your own server company, then you need to be very smart enough to start your own company. As of now, do not think about it. If you're thinking it's a good idea, you could start running your company, give me one project. But coming to the point again, the thing is that Python tries to reduce that space. Now, I hope like what I'm saying is that object references, that means what? The memory location, because it has to be stored somewhere. It will not be that case, it will not be stored anywhere. It will not be in the air. हवा हवा ही नहीं होता है. It has to be somewhere. Existence should be there, right? When you're asked like what is your address, you tell no the landmark. It's like near the Royal Cafeteria and back to Elite International High School, International School, something like that way. Right? You try to point that this is a reference. Similar way, you just don't say that I live in Pune and I live in Mumbai. So it's a huge city. It's a big city. How the person might find you? And even though you say okay, come to this specific area, that area is also very good. When you speak about landmark, you speak about a specific area. Now it is very clear for the person who's trying to find an address. So I'll now try to say that how and the paint, right? Let me show you on the page now. Just let me know if my paint is visible. So I was trying to explain this thing. So if I create the paint, right? This is like an attendance sheet. Attendance sheet. Now I have rulers, right? This is in the now this ruler book is in this way only, na? This way, this way. I am very bad at the drawing. Yes, I'll draw it again. So this is like a ruler in a notebook, right? That is the attendance record. Like this is like a space, right, for that particular page. Now uh, in the pipe in the date in the hard disk also there is a space, right? Arranged in such a way. Now, what happens is that in the roll number one, this is suppose this is a roll number, right? I'll say one roll number. So in the roll number one, there is Sangram, right? Sangram is Sangram, whatever. Right. And in the second roll number also there's a Sangram, right? The same value, right? Sangram. What will happen is that this Java and the C++ has created a separate space for Sangram and Sangram. Right. Now, whereas in the Python, right, Python, what does is that it will not use this space because value are the same. Look at it. This is also Sangram. This is also Sangram. So instead of using this second space, what it will do is that it will just say comma, it will say two, and it will occupy the same value. And again, if there is one more Sangram, so it will not go to this next one. Whereas Java will go to this next page and write the same value called as Sangram. That is equal to 50, value is that 50. Here, Python what will do is that it will just say 3. So now what is happening that imagine, so this amount of space is been saved. And there is new object, like suppose I said 4 is January. So it will not start writing from here. Now there is a space over here, right? Python I'll tell you, Python this way. So now that second line, because Python tried to fit 1, 2, right, and 3 within one line only. Okay, with that Sangram name. Now this empty, right? This space is empty. Whereas Java has reached here, Java has reached here, or C++ has reached here, but Python is still here. Now it has found the new word called as a Janvi. So now it is occupying to occupy the next space. It is not going to occupy the fourth line, just like another one. So how much space is going to be saved? Getting my point. So this is the best part of using the Python. Now you imagine like there are 100 Januaries. So you can just use that same space. Just need to create an object, right? Like 4, 5, 6. Here 4, 5, 6 are nothing but that variable name. If I show you the slide, this 4, 5, 6 are nothing but a variable. Values are same. So new object will be created. That 4 will be when the value is new. If the value is same, you just do not need to create a different space. Clear? So how do you write a variable? So you write a variable. These are the rules. So if you can see, if you want to write a variable, so if I ask you like how what is your name, right? So you will see that in this world the name doesn't start with an alphabet, sorry, it doesn't start with a number. You might have seen that the name always starts with an alphabet, right? My name is Sangram, so it starts with an alphabet, right? Your name is XYZ, it starts with your alphabet. So variables is the same thing. A variable must start with a letter or an underscore character. So letter means what? The E, B, C, D, E, F, till Z. Uppercase, lowercase, both are allowed, but upper Python is a case sensitive language. That means what? If something I have written in a small case, right? This variable, this okay, I'll say, okay, this A. So look at it. This A, this capital A will always be different from this small a. If you have written something in a capital one and you're trying to print small a, so that is going to throw an error. So a variable name must start with a letter or an underscore character. The only special character that has been used here is a underscore. Apart from underscore, you cannot use any another character. If you try to say, can I use any another character like at the rate, hashtag, comma, semi-comma, it will not work. So you need to start your variable. I'll show you practically doing, not this theoretical. Just try to understand. A variable cannot start with a number, as I said, right? And in the real world also, you have not seen that calling like, okay, one Sangram or two Cinderella or three Bob something, right? You have started with the alphabet only. And a variable can contain an alphanumeric character. Alphanumeric means what? It can be a combination of alphabets as well as the integers, right? Alphabets can be like uppercase and lowercase. Alphabet numbers, like we know it starts from 0 to 9, right? And then 10 is a combination of 1 plus 0 something, like 11 is like 1 1. So we can have a combination of alphabets as well as numbers. But remember, the only special character that can be used is a underscore. Apart from that, you cannot use. And as I said, see, variable names are case sensitive. So this date is always different from this date, and this date is different from this date. Look at it. Here, this is everything in a smaller case. Here, this first character is upper and the rest is small. And here, everything is in the uppercase. That is the capital one. These three are different. And the techniques to write are camel case, Pascal case, and snake case. Okay, so how do you write a define a variable? I'll show you. So I hope it is clear till here. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes.
Let's see how do you define a variable. Now let's say, as I said, your variable should start with the alphabet. So when I say like A is equal to 50, it is okay, right? So if I write 1A is equals to 50, it is not acceptable. So let's see, if I run this part, print A, so it will run. All right, this will be okay. If I comment, copy this part, if I comment, and if I say now 1A, and if I try to print 1A, already it is showing an error. Intelligence has been provided. Now it is saying in syntax error. Got it? Why? Because you cannot start a variable with the numbers, right? So this is very important. Now, if I try to use any special character, maybe like at the rate, it is already showing an error. See, even if I show the syntax error, hashtag is used to comment, so it is what's commented. If I see an hyphen, see, it's showing in syntax error. So only special character you can use is an underscore. Now, so it is not showing an error. When I say I'm done, so it will print 50. Got it. But one more thing, if I'm using there is an about us, right? And if I say hello, right? So if you use a space also, if you use space also, so even use space, it will throw an error. See, you cannot use a space in between it. So what you need to do is that either use an underscore this way, it is working, it will print. But remember, you might think, so can I use with some hyphen or something? It will still not be used. Or you can do is then is just leave this way. Do not use any space in between it. This is what you can do, right? But you cannot use a space between it. Okay. And as I said, it says case sensitive. So this up portal, if I copy this part, I'll remove the space over here. You can use number. You can use number anywhere. At the between or at the end, you can use anywhere. If I say 11, and if I say 11, okay. You can use number at the end, but at the beginning you cannot use it. You can use in middle as well. Like if I say 5, but you just need to know proper convention. So if I say after between 4, 5, so it is right. But you cannot use a space. This, all right. And as a last one, case sensitive. If I copy this, now look at it. This about us and this about us. So look at it. This A is capital over here, and this A is small. So if I write hello and if I write hi, look at that. This is hello, right? And this is hi. So you might think, sir, this is both about us. No. This about us has a capital over here, and this about has a small capital A over here. That is why this variable that about us is going to be different from this about us. Clear? Okay. I hope it is clear. Now, as of now, today for the variables, it is very much clear and you have understood. Do you have any questions still so far for the variables? So now keep on playing with the variable and as a study, like where is it one? Like you can say car is equals to BMW. This way also, uh, or we can use multiple variables: car one, car two, and car three. Okay. Then you say or D. Then we say Mercedes. Oh, if anyone owns it, very good. And then let's say Jaguar. Audi, Mark, and Jaguar. If you use a space over here, that is going to throw an error. Okay, and you cannot just use a this number as well. Just take this way. If I comment this part, okay, 3 p.m. we cannot use. Clear? Okay, over and out. Any questions? Video, you're like on and off. I guess there's a network connectivity. Can you just unmute yourself and say hello, hi? Because I don't know what's your name.
Hey, my name is Vijay. Uh,
Ah,
I think there is a network issue, so it was like off and on the
okay.
sessions. So maybe
All
I
right. So,
will
Vijay, where are you from?
I'm right now in Hyderabad. So
Okay, okay, cool. All right. There must be an issue that happens, not a problem. But I hope you were there entirely during the session. I have still recorded for the session. Not to worry, you can give an access. You can have an access to it. Okay, cool. So go through it. So any questions before we could call it a day? It's just the
No,
beginning of the day, but at least for the session.
I have one
Yes, ma'am.
question. So we had defined multiple variables, right? Car one, two, and three. So if you want to print it, how will we print car one, car two, and car three?
So print, it's a print, and then put it into print.
Okay.
So this is Audio
Got
citizen.
it.
Print
Got
is
it.
used function which is used to display the input on the output screen. Print is a function which is used to display output. It is on the console screen. Console screen is nothing but that is it. Whatever you see as an on output is called as a console screen. All right. Okay. Let's
Got it.
stop here. Any other questions? Uh, what is Vanushri, Reshma, and Vijay?
Oh, uh, sorry, I missed your name. Can I get your name?
My name is Sangram.
Sorry,
Sangram. 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 My name is Sangram.
Sangram. Let me tell about myself. What I'm expecting is something personal. If I can get your number, that will help. Or if you want me to speak now, is also okay with me. On my profile, I want to get a little clarification on that.
Like what
Going
exactly? Okay, later on, not a problem. So I'll write my number over here. What you do is that you can just reach up to me. Anyone else if you want to reach up to me. So I'm typing my number over here 9096510. Have a snap of it or save it into your phone. What you do is that you just ping me a hi on the WhatsApp and I'll catch you later up later in the while. Right, because there's some that's few things I'm occupied in a while. So I'll catch you in a while after that. Okay, so this is my number. I hope you have taken a snap of it. And all right, so we'll catch up tomorrow at the same time. So bye bye. Take care. And if any question, just connect me on the mobile number. All right. Vijay will speak over a call. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye
you.
and have a
Thank you,
good day.
Sangram.
Bye
Yeah, bye. Have a great day.
bye.
Bye bye.